Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Shudder, a Thai horror film from 2004. Even nowadays, this is viewed by many people to be the best horror film to ever come out of Thailand. If my memory serves me correctly, Shudder was the first movie I ever bought on Region 3 DVD way back in the year 2006, and I actually had to change the region code on my DVD player to watch it, and that motivated me to buy my first all-region DVD player afterward. That's a fond memory of this film for me. Now, one interesting observation is that these directors who did this movie went on to make some other horror films in the years that followed. These include Alone, Phobia, Phobia 2, P-Mock, and The Medium. And I have reviews of all of those films on my channel, either in separate videos or in my Asian horror playlist. But anyways, here's my review of Shudder. So after celebrating at a drinking party with his close friends, a photographer and his girlfriend get into a car accident, hitting a young woman in the process. With much fear, the man prohibits her from getting out of the car. They drive away, leaving the girl lying on the road. Afterward, the man experiences body pains and begins to see mysterious white shadows and faces when he takes photographs. So character-wise, there is some emotional fallout after the car accident. It puts a serious strain on the romantic relationship between both of our leads. There's just enough characterization in this film to make everything work. And the themes, the story, and the investigative elements are interesting enough to help drive the film. I like the scene where a photographer explains how ghost photos can be accidental or fake, resulting in a non-supernatural explanation. There are multiple discussions about photography that are quite good, I think. And things do get pretty intense and moderately disturbing during the second half. From a dramatic standpoint, I think Shudder does have a little bit more of an edge when compared to your typical ghost movie. In terms of scares, the ghost design is similar to the onryo from Japan, but the horror sequences are sufficiently scary in this. I think they're executed well. As like an overall observation, I do think that Thai horror films, in general, do use a few too many jump scares for my liking, generally speaking. But in the case of Shudder, the good scares outnumber the not-so-good ones, so I'm okay with it here. There are a few dream fake-out moments as well, but again, those are pretty limited. And it's not like this movie relies entirely on jump scares or fake scares anyways. The entire premise of the movie are ghosts who sneak into the background within photographs, which has more of a creepy impact. A few of the scares that stick out to me are the hair scene inside the dark room, the scene in a pitch black room with flashes of camera light that occasionally light up the screen, and there's a picture flipping scene where a character takes a bunch of pictures and flips them like a movie reel, and that's a pretty cool scene as well. I like that. The ending brings some of the foreshadowed imagery throughout the film together quite nicely. And I think the movie delivers on both the story and the horror fronts. It's a good quality flick. It was also a treat watching this in high definition for the first time. It's nicely shot, good production values. You got to remember, horror films from Thailand were still finding their way during the early 2000s. This was one of the movies that put the industry on the map internationally. And production values are one of the reasons for this, because it has a more of a polish when compared to some of the other Thai horror films that came before it. The opening credits have a nice pink hue for the imagery, and there are many scenes in the dark room where photographs are developed, or at least that's the old school way photographs used to be developed, before the digital age, right? And those are always neat because there's a very deep red lighting in that room. So, yeah, if you want a little bit more context on Thai horror films during this era, you could check out my Asian horror playlist because I cover them in chronological order, so you get a good feel of the industry. And to no one's surprise, I strongly recommend Shudder. I know, looking back on it, it seems like a cliche film with typical story elements, but I think the overall quality is very solid, and it's entertaining, and it was important for the industry when it came out. So, yeah, and this, again, like I said, a lot of people still consider this to be their favorite Thai horror film. So, it's currently available streaming on Fandango at home. It's also received a tricked out and rather expensive Blu-ray release from Umbrella Entertainment if you want to splurge. And as always, folks, I'll see you next time.